Welcome to Shore Perspectives, a community feature of WESR Radio, highlighting the spirit of the shore from those who call it home.
Kathleen Peirson, Eastville, Virginia.
So what is the story behind the nickname Yuck-Yuck?
Oh, that's just was my nickname, playing, laughing, carrying on all the time, always doing something that we had fun. I don't make that sound when I laugh. You should hear some of the stuff that people say when I walk. They want to meet Yuck-Yuck, and I walk out and I go, "Well, you're not a little Oriental lady," and just the comments have been hysterical. In 1988, I opened up someplace else, closed it in 2000, so that was 12 years. I was asked to give the Sunset restaurant, and I went there for that summer because I closed in April of 2000. I went there for that summer. They wanted me to introduce the place to the locals, and then December of 2000 I opened up Yuk-Yuk and Joe's. My son was about 8 years old, I believe he was, when we were opening this up, and he sat me down probably in this booth. And he said, Mom, this isn't a very good idea to name a restaurant Yuck-Yucks. He said, who wants to eat the food from Yuck-Yucks? And I said, you're going to have to trust me on this one. How many Kathys do you know? How many Yuck-Yucks do you know? So when somebody says, my customers from years ago, where's Yuck now? People know exactly who they were talking about, and it worked. It worked. As far as I'm concerned, we're still here.
How did these folks get to be on the wall? Tell me about the wall behind you.
They gave me the picture, and I had the frames made at one time. The man, there was a place in Exmoor, and he made the frames. But I do not take any pictures. I do not put them up, because all you have to do is forget somebody, and they're mad at you. I said, oh no, you want a picture up, you get it to me, and I'll put it up. And so that's the way I work that one. Most of the time it kept me out of trouble. I've learned a lot of lessons, a whole lot. Like you and I were talking earlier, just you need the help. You can't do it by yourself, no matter how much you say that. The employees, the customers, they're right there, and you don't realize how much till, get in a jam like we were in for this. And the GoFundMe page, oh dear God, whoever ever would think something like that would happen. And but you can't do it alone, no matter how hard you try. The permit from the health department, that's paid for. So now that got sent to Richmond, and so now we're waiting for Richmond to say okay. And then the people who are going to do it, they put their bids in, and it goes from there. And then it should take 3 to 5 days after waiting a month. I have a lot of people. It's funny how the employees will call me up and say, any word? Do we hear anything? So I'm keeping them posted. But most of them had to go get other jobs, and I understand that. I'm surprised I didn't have to go get a job. So it's been good. They call me up to see what's going on, when it'll happen. I said, don't you worry, I'll be calling everybody. And they come in. Well, like when we first closed down, came in and helped me clean the refrigerators out and get everything. They're ready to come back. Hopefully, I said, yeah, You can get your feelings hurt, though, looking for everybody to come back and nobody shows up. Oh, no.
Do you have some hope on the horizon of opening?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm looking at the end of June. Never thought it would come to an end. The solution was... But... And then you go, what am I thinking? I've done this twice. It's like reopening a whole new place. I mean, I have to get all my stock, all my alcohol, schedules, people, and there's sometimes I can't sleep at night. I'm walking the phone. I'm like, what the heck were you thinking? And they said, oh, go ahead and retire. Well, I don't think I'll do good with that right away. Like the other day, I said, so it's Thursday. What do I do now? Or Friday. I said, I'm usually out. Joe likes to say he's one of the only men he knows that gets in trouble for not going to the bar. But yeah, it was. I never thought we wouldn't be able to open. Unless I never even considered the money end of it. Even though, once that I said okay to the GoFundMe, there was no choice. And I said, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I feared there would be a way. And they were all behind me. All those people on the walls and the other people that haven't made the wall yet were... It's amazing. Have you seen that? Good gracious. Just can't even believe it. I have people telling me what they think it's, oh, everybody's going to come in, and that's when I said, watch you don't get your feelings hurt, miss. Because everybody might have something to do that day, If it is the end of June, that's right before the 4th of July. Well, people go away. They're on vacation. One of the biggest things here is the summertime. Our people are out. They're on the bay. They're barbecuing at home. They're on vacation. So we live off the people who come down on vacation. The people who are staying in Cape Charles and maybe staying a little longer, and they go out into the community, and that helps too. So I'm just going to say, yeah, and hopefully, it will get a bar room full of people and then not have the employees to take care of them. I'm like, it's, oh my God, it's... You think, nah, that won't happen. You go, well, it could. And then what? Yeah, so. In tending bar and waitressing, and I met a lot of people who supported me. And what a good move that was, because they've supported me. Those that are still here, have just been wonderful. Bringing their friends, bringing their family, and that's a good thing. And you don't realize that until you, I guess, live through it and see these people coming in and out. And without them, I don't know what I'd do. Don't give up too quick. One thing I'm not very good at is asking for help. And good God, look at what happened when I did. So, don't be afraid to ask for help, and have faith. Yeah, gotta have a lot of faith. You really do.
For Shore Perspectives and WESR Radio, I'm Kelly Gaskell.